and the correct number of 2 times changes. So it's scoring along at about 63%, and it's been a fairly steady test. .5 for the general impression, and I think they would like the horse to be just a little bit more genuinely round and supple in its back and consistent into the bridle. So we'll put her, that horse, it might put her into 3rd place or 4th place. And it looks like 3rd, so. And that's a score for Celeste Amesdros on her 2nd horse, Sugarloaf Amnesty, of 62.941%. And now that horse is into 3rd place, so it remains with Celeste in front on her 1st horse, SF Austin, on 66.5%. Katina Smith on BC Chili Pepper on 64.461. And now we welcome our 8th horse in this class is Tanisha Ryan, right from New South Wales, riding Gembray Rattle and Hum. Rattle and Hum is a gelding by Riverside, bred by Gembray Warmbloods and owned, produced by Tanisha. And we have a score for Tanisha Ryan and Gembray Rattle and Hum of 62.50%, placing her in 5th position. And our next rider circling the area is Justine Greer from Victoria, riding Bloomfield Sakuna. Sakuna is gelding by Szechuan, bred by Bloomfield Stud and owned by Karen Hunt.
So we are on the home stretch for this EBM Insurance and Risk Intermediate CDI 1-star class. You're on the last 3 competitors and you're watching Justine Greer on Bloomfield's Saruka. Or Sakuna?
Sakuna. A big horse. Justine keeping him travelling possibly a little bit more out of his rhythm than I would want. I like them to go forward, but I did talk about hurrying before. If you hurry them, you put them onto the front end a bit more, and the back end can't keep up. So a few more half halts and balancing through the corner. A bit more like, again, lost some balance on the circle. I was thinking of another way of describing it when I say I want more bend or lateral softness, and I think that on the lateral movements, if you can think of the inside of the horse as being shorter than the outside of the horse. So the outside is stretching around the curve.
And the inside is doing like a little tummy crunch, isn't it?
Yes.
So that bends.
Yeah. It's not enormous, is never enormous bend. It's just uniform. And if you've ever dealt with the skeleton of the horse, there isn't a lot of bend. The neck can wave beautifully, and we all know that, but it's uniform. But think of the idea of being softer or shorter on the inside of the bend, longer with the outside.
Or stretching, isn't it?
Or stretching, yep. Lengthening the outside, concertinaing the inside.
It's a nice way to think about it.
And I liked her lateral submission more in the canter half pass than I did in the trot just before. Might have slipped through that change. I'm super sure. Anyway, benefit of the doubt.
And the sequence was correct. I was doing my counting.
Excellent.
I've suddenly woken up. Not that I was... It's been a very long day here. We've had long days and a lot of dressage to commentate. We are very privileged to be here at the beautiful Willinga Park.
So lovely sitting in that pirouette.
Definitely this horse has a lot of ability to sit.
And on this right one, Again, I want a bit more submission through its right side, looking a little softer than it was just then.
In 7-2s.
Good.
I would have to say that a lot of them could do that transition canter to trot. Sometimes it's the simple things that we overlook when we're trying to perfect the more difficult movements, and they're just marks that are screaming to be had. Easy marks, I call them.
Easy marks, I agree. And yet it's a difficult transition, but still...
do it right from the beginning.
It's not a complicated thing. And we have a score for Justine Greer and Bloomfield Sakuna of 62.941%, placing her in 4th position. Celeste Mesdros on her first ride, still out in front on SF Austin with 66.569. Just 2 horses left in this class. And we welcome Robin Smith from New South Wales riding Lord Larry. Lord Larry is by London time. He's a gelding and he was bred in Germany and he belongs to and is ridden by Robin Smith.
So we welcome our last or second last competitor to the intermediate CDI 1 star, sponsored by EBM Insurance and Risk. And I did catch up with Robin a little bit earlier in the VIP stand, and she said it was killing her that she had to abstain from the champagne that was popping all around her to ride this test this afternoon. She wanted to enjoy the horses from the stand, but she had to be focused on the job at hand. So we wish Robin all the best for this test.
That's right. We all had to focus. And, but, you know, a lot of time and effort going into making the horse as best as she can. So no need to throw it away for the odd bit of alcohol until afterwards. Nice beginning.
I'm sure the Golden Girls will have a celebratory champers for her on hand. Nice halt.
And I like the position and the fairly supple lateral look of that left shoulder in. And the judges did agree with me.
Does have quite a good marching walk. You know, one of the things they say about the walk is a marching pace. It should have purpose.
She rode the start of that half pass well in that she actually came down the centre line. Oh, dear. Anyway, for the young players, she came down the centre line before she started the half pass, whereas many of the others have turned down the centre line
and started.
So there is time, because the marker is 6 metres in before you're supposed to start. But that requires you to ride a good turn like a corner at A. So Larry, we didn't need the other bit in
the
that.
Extra bits. But onwards to the changes.
Good ability to lower behind and bear weight behind. And just not always accepting the submission through the bridle when she requests something. Right now I'm suspicious, but she's probably wishing she had that champagne.
Would be right. So, unfortunately for Robin, Lord Larry was not so lordly.
Exactly. But she'll reflect and work on things. And we just have one more to come. welcome our final competitor in the CDI one-star class, sponsored by EBM Insurance and Risk, Sally Rizzuto from New South Wales, riding Quarterland. Quarterland is a gelding by Quarterback, owned by Vicky Newham and ridden by Sally.
So we thank you at home if you stayed with us for the whole day, watching the competition here at Dressage by the Sea. I'd like to thank the Snow family for this wonderful facility that they have provided for the equestrian community as a whole. We're very lucky to have such a great facility. And we will be here tomorrow to do it all again.
Nicely balanced shoulder in coming towards me. She's keeping the flow through the trot work. It looks good in the contact. So Sally insisting that the horse stands up and stands square. So that's a good training thing to do. It will slightly detract on the mark, but in the end she did a nice rein back as well. But, you know, some of the judges will judge that more harshly because it's immobility. A little bit lacking left flexion on this shoulder in going away from me. Quite a proud collected walk, but it does have some overtrack, so we're going to need to see more overtrack into the extended walk. Now it gets going, and it does. Problem towards the end of the extended canter flying change. So more collecting and sitting needed in the pirouette. And now a bit of a loss of impulsion. She's achieved that. The twos, a little bit of swaying from side to side in the front, in the changes. And finishes with a halt, a little bit inattentive. Somebody's doing something. I think there's a little bit of activity going on outside. But anyway, Dale. Overall, a 6.5 kind of general impression for the horse. And I think yesterday she won the Prix St George, but I think today the win will go to Celeste Amesdros and SF Austin. Confirmed yet, so
if you're thinking of tuning in tomorrow, just a little bit of information for you. We do start at 8:15 here with the Grand Prix freestyle to music under 25s. So we will be back again tomorrow with the live streaming at 8:15.
And that concludes the Intermediate 1 CDI 1-star class, sponsored by EBM Insurance and Risk. And we are just awaiting the final score to come through to give you the complete results. Tomorrow, spectators, we're back here in the indoor arena starting at 8:15 with the Grand Prix freestyle for under 25s. And there we have the result for Sally Rizzuto and Quarterland of 63.039% and third place. So we congratulate Celeste Amesdros and SF Austin for a win with 66.569%. In second place, Katina Smith on BC Chili Pepper on 64.461%. In third, Sally Rizzuto and Quarterland on 63.039%. In fourth, Celeste Amesdros on her second horse, Sugarloaf Amnesty on 62.941. Oh, I beg your pardon, we have an equal fourth. Justine Greer, equal fourth on Bloomfield Sakuna on 62.941. In sixth place, Lizzie Wilson Fellows riding Let Chameur on 62.794. In seventh, Tanisha Ryan, Gembray Rattle and Hum on 62.500. And in eighth place, Mandy McPherson from New Zealand riding Friedenstar on 58.088%. Thank you to our lovely judges. It's been a very big day. And of course, thank you to our officials, our stewards, our gate openers, our manure picker-uppers. And we thank the Snow family for this wonderful facility here at Willinga Park.